Hey guys, my name is Tito and normally I do Nollywood movie reviews, but in this video I want to talk about something important, which is why I busted out my podcast microphone. Today I want to talk about cheating, or more specifically, I want to talk about how to remain faithful in a marriage or a relationship. Now, if you want to just dive into the video, you can do that. The timestamps are on the screen right now. But for those of you who need context as to why I'm doing this video and who this video is for, keep watching. Now, why I'm doing this video is because I think cheating is rampant these days and it's really ruining lives, it's ruining homes, and it's a big problem, right? And I feel that there aren't enough people talking about the solutions or the tips on how to remain faithful in a relationship or a marriage. So hence why I'm doing this video. Secondly, who is this video for? I think this video is for anyone who worries about staying faithful in their relationship or staying faithful in marriage, because it's actually a thing. People tend to worry if they'll be able to, for the rest of their lives, stick to one person after they get married, and they may not have answers, right? So it's those answers, or those tips, I should say, that I want to share in this video. So if you fall into that category, or if you're, struggling in your marriage currently, this could be for you. Finally, I anticipate that there will be people that will object to the things I say in this video. People who feel like, anybody who's going to cheat is going to cheat anyway, so there's no point to a video like this. And there are also people who will object to what I will say in this video because I'm a single man sharing tips for married people. Like, what do I know, right? I beg to differ. You don't need to be a president of a country or a ruler of a country to have ideas on how a country can be better run, for example. So I'm in as good a position as anyone else to talk about this thing. Plus, being a faithful spouse, doesn't start from when you say I do, right? It's a mindset. It's something that you just live by even before you get to the altar. Barack Obama was presidential way before he became a president, not to sound like a motivational speaker. Anyway, I'm already getting into the video, so let's just dive into it, right? Here's the first tip on how to stay faithful in a marriage. Have the right values. Having values like accountability, integrity, and discipline, or AID as I like to call them, can go a really long way in helping you stay faithful in your marriage. Because think about it, if you're accountable to your partner, you won't do things or want to do things that could hurt them, right? If you have integrity, personal integrity, you'll think twice or think deeply about how your actions will affect your spouse or your family or even yourself, and even the person that you're thinking of cheating with. That's what integrity does. It makes you hold yourself to a high standard. And discipline as well. Discipline will make you think twice about putting yourself in certain compromising situations or situations that could make you compromise yourself easily. So if you don't do any of the other tips that I suggest in this video and you just do this one, you check your value system and you have the right values or imbibe the right values, that really could be enough to keep you faithful for the rest of your life, in marriage. Number 2, see your partner as a human being, not as an object. People who are unfaithful in marriage and in relationships, right, they view their partners in a very weird way. I think they don't see them as human beings. Because if you saw them as a human being with emotions and feelings, someone who would feel betrayed by your actions, then you wouldn't treat them that way. You wouldn't be unfaithful to them because you'd be empathetic, right? You'd think of how you would feel if you were cheated on, essentially. So if you don't want to cheat in your relationship or in your marriage when you settle down, be empathetic and see your partner as a human being and not just as some item you check off on a list or just somebody that you start a family with. Number 3, go for what you like. Now, when it comes to dating and marriage, we all have different preferences, right? Some people like light-skinned people, some people like dark-skinned people, some people like people with six-packs, some people don't mind. Some men like women with chest, some men like women with a big backside. Different strokes for different folks, you get the point, right? I think to reduce your chances or the odds of you being unfaithful or being tempted, just marry the person who has the things that you like. Because what I tend to find is, and especially with men, people settle, they like a particular kind of person, but instead they marry a different kind of person. And when that happens, right, whenever you see the person who has the things you like, it's a serious temptation. You're now working your discipline in overtime. You're working it harder than it needs to work. So in order to forestall that and to just have a happier life, go for somebody who has the qualities or, the features that you like. And that's not to say that you will find everything that's on your list, especially when it comes to physical, attributes, right? But if you're going to make sacrifices, for example, if you have a list of 10 things you're looking for in a spouse, if you find 8, go with that. Just be mindful that you have sacrificed those 2 things and you are going to live without those 2 things, and you are going to remain faithful in your marriage without those 2 things. Number 4, communicate your physical and emotional expectations and desires. I think it's safe to say that many times cheating happens because of a breakdown in communication between a couple. They're not talking. They're not telling each other what they need to stay motivated and to stay interested in that marriage, physically or otherwise. For example, a woman's emotional requirement in a relationship or in a marriage may be to hear her husband or her man's voice every day, even if it's just for 10 seconds, or she needs words of affirmation regularly. That may be what she needs to keep the fire burning for her man. Or for a man, his physical requirement may be for his wife to stay fit, to take care of her health and her body. For example, if she doesn't, maybe he won't find her attractive as much and he may be tempted to step out, in the marriage. And it works both ways. It could be the same for a woman as well. She may lose interest if her husband isn't taking care of his health. But because of shame and offense, like I said earlier, lots of people aren't having those conversations. They're not communicating to their partner what they need to stay interested and to stay motivated and to stay, to keep the fire burning essentially for their partner in that marriage. So in order to make sure that that's not you, and to not be tempted to step out of the marriage, then communicate early on too, from as early as the dating phase to courtship to when you're actually in the marriage. Communicate your expectations and your desires that will keep you interested and just essentially keep the fire burning in the marriage. Number 5, communicate your bedroom desires to your spouse. I think lots of people actually do step out of their marriage because they feel like their spouse is too dignified or will just be unwilling to try some kinky things in the bedroom. And I think it's very faulty. And that's another thing that's a product of non-existent or bad communication between couples. If you are interested in certain kind of things in the bedroom, so far that they're not like outlandish and so far they're within the realm of reason and legality, then bring it up with your spouse. Let them know and, take it from there. I mean, if you want to do role play and pretend to be Jasmine and Aladdin, tell it to your husband or tell it to your wife. But, sometimes people feel like, no, my husband, he won't be willing to put on the Aladdin outfit, so let me go outside and find some young guy with a 6-pack who can do it and whatnot. I digress. My point is communicate to your spouse what you like in the bedroom. Like, once again, so far it's within reason. Even if it's not within reason, maybe it's still worth talking about. But communicate to them so that, they can fulfill those fantasies for you rather than you stepping out and finding someone else to fulfill those fantasies. I'll leave it at that. Number 6, don't put yourself or allow yourself to be put in compromising situations or positions. Sometimes it's the places that we go to that we know we shouldn't be going to, or the conversations we have that we know we shouldn't be having, or the people that we talk to that we know we shouldn't be talking to, that make us more susceptible to temptation or cheating. So by you being mindful of, where you go, who you talk to, the conversations or the type of conversations you have, you can greatly reduce the likelihood of you cheating on your partner. Because it really is a thing. Some people wouldn't be cheating, especially as much as they do, if they didn't go to certain places, or if they didn't hang out with certain friends, or if they didn't have some inappropriate conversations with certain people. So just be mindful of those things that could potentially put you in compromising situations or positions. Number 7, be strong in your religious faith. I saved this for last, by the way, because I realize not everyone watching this video will be a person of faith, right? For people with strong religious faith, many people with strong faith, it's their faith in their God that keeps them from cheating on their spouse. Because while they may not feel any type of way about cheating on their spouse, they do feel very strongly about sinning against God, because cheating is adultery. Adultery is a sin. So because of their strong faith, they stay in line, they stay in check in their marriage, they don't step out, they don't cheat on their spouse. And it's a good enough thing. It's a good reason, if you ask me. And for example, in the Christian faith, there are lots of scriptures that say that we do certain things and we live our lives in a certain way, not necessarily because of what we see on earth, but because we don't want to sin against God. For example, there's a passage that says, your word have I kept in my heart because I don't want to sin against you. Okay, so pursuing God or having a strong faith, whatever your faith may be, I think really does have several benefits, one of which is helping you stay in line in your marriage and not being unfaithful to your spouse. So there it is, guys. 7 tips on how to stay faithful in a relationship or in marriage. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were encouraged. Once again, I did this video because I feel like there aren't enough voices out there talking about how to stay faithful in a relationship. And the problem is getting really out of hand with this whole cheating thing. And I feel more people need to talk about, or encourage people on, staying faithful and just to let them know that it's possible to be faithful to your partner. A lot of it boils down to good communication and also who you pick, to spend your time with and your life with, essentially. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, guys, it's custom around here on YouTube to like a video by clicking on the like button and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the red subscribe button. If you're not watching this on YouTube, maybe you're watching it on Instagram, please head over to my YouTube channel, which is called Tito's Second Channel, and subscribe to my channel as well. And feel free to share this video with anyone who you feel may benefit from it, particularly young men who feel like, they will cheat or they have no option but to cheat in their marriage or in their relationship. Send this to them as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm tired. It's been a long one. Catch you in the next one. Take care.